Yeah, okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for accepting to share your diary with Diarysouls. And welcome.
Thank you.
How are you doing in this lockdown?
I must say I am as locked up as anyone would be, but that doesn't mean that I have lost my, the mojo of life. I'm enjoying. I'm keeping myself busy. I'm keeping myself involved in all the exercises, workouts. I am writing. I'm busy coaching people how to write a book. So I've been really busy and in high spirits in this lockdown.
So you're not wasting any time. Great
Not at
people
all.
like you are
Not at
won't
all.
waste any time, right?
Not at all. I remember, for last, I think, 6 or 7 years, I don't see that there would be one day or any hour in my life where I would be sitting idle and just, lying down on my couch and watching a TV or, just wasting my time. So I hate to waste time. Whenever any free time is there, I would read a book. If I am, let's say, driving also for some meeting or some work where the driving time is about 1.5 hours, I would read an audio book. I would, sorry, listen an audio book. And even if, let's say, I am doing workouts, I am an Iron Man. I do a lot of trainings for marathons and stuff like that. I watch videos, courses. I do courses. So I am 24 cross 7, except when I'm not sleep. When I'm sleeping, I I just keep myself, as open to any kind of learning, any kind of experience which life can throw at me. Now this helps me in two ways. One, it keeps the writer inside me alive and awake, because I strongly believe that a very good writer is somebody who can really generate the emotions in a reader's mind, and if someone who can really, evoke feelings, and who can create a great picture in front of his or her reader's mind. So to be able to do that, one has to be a great observer, the observer of things around you, and you should be reading and learning as much as you can. And that's what a constant pursuit of mine has been for almost 7 8 years, till the time I have started my transformation. I
Okay.
wasn't born like this. I was one of the most laziest person around. I used to weigh around 100 kgs.
Oh,
And yeah, and if someone would tell me, I remember in my college school days, I would cry for a bike. I would request my dad to give me a bike, buy me a scooter or a motorcycle or anything. And my dad would say, why don't you go on a cycle? And riding a cycle was below my standards. So and I was a lazy bum. I joined corporates about 20 years now. I was somebody who would get drunk every Friday, eat anything which would come to me. And in the process, I screwed up my body, and I screwed up. I lost the kind of energy which one should have. But it's only in last, I think, 7 8 years when I started really working on my transformation,
okay.
and that has really helped me change. I'm now almost 20 to 25 kilos thinner than what I used
Wow.
to be. I am doing, as I said, I've been doing marathons. You can see all the medals here, photographs, international runs and marathons, all the accolades I've started getting for last 7 years now. So I think I've this has been my transformation journey all
Wow,
this while.
great transformation to hear. So much
Thank you.
inspiration for your to hear your story. So
Yeah.
something brief about yourself to our viewers, like about your background, what do you do? Something brief about yourself.
Yeah, so I have about 20 years of work experience in corporate multinational in IT multinational companies at leadership positions. I have written four books. The first one got published in 2014. Its name is Just Six Evenings. Second one was 2017, which was The Amigos. Third one is a murder mystery, The Red Line. It got published in 2019, and this year, 2020, we published our book DNA of a Champion Salesperson. Now, that's a self-help book. So, in all four books, three of them have been fiction, one is non-fiction, self-help book. So, and beside my creative pursuits, I am also actively involved in doing book writing coaching to corporate leaders, to trainers and speakers, and I really teach them how can they write their book and they start earning anywhere between 1 lakh to 5 lakh a month with the help of their book. So I'm working as a book writing coach nowadays, while continuing to pursue my passion of running, cycling, and I'm also an Ironman triathlete. I completed the Ironman title in Australia last year.
Wow.
So which included 1.9 kilometers of swimming in open water, 90 kilometers of cycling, and 21 kilometers of running post that. So I think this is who I am right now.
Great.
Who I was. I was not somebody whom I would want to remember, but yes, I am somebody right now only because I changed myself and I decided to bring that transformation in me.
That sounds very great, sir.
Thank you.
So, how was all the journey of writing book started? So, why do you
See,
want to
it's
write a book?
yeah. So thanks for asking this question. And I know this question has been asked a lot of time. People have asked me this question, and every time I answer this, I tell that it all begins from a certain feeling in your heart. There's something that you want to convey, and there's a certain feeling. Now, that feeling can be your learning, that can be your any life experience that you want to share, can be good, can be bad. So it all starts from that feeling of sharing. I always say that writing is not about telling the world that how smart you are, but it's always about sharing what
Share.
you're passionate about. And your writing should come from heart. So it all began from uh, 2014, when I had spent about 12 years in corporate, and I wasn't really happy. Although I was making money, although I was getting promotions, although I had a life which anybody, any medium class, or for that matter, any average Indian student would aspire to. कि बेटा पढ़ाई लिखाई कर लो, अच्छी नौकरी मिल जाएगी, अच्छी तनख्वाह होगी, और you will be happy. You will get a good job, you will get a good salary, and that's what successful life is. When I achieved that, and I questioned myself that is it the success that you were striving for? Is it the real success that people run after? I did that, and I'll probably continue to get one promotion after the other, one salary hike after the other. So that thought, that what is the success? What is the real success? Is the real success following something that you're really passionate about, or something what the world tells you? So that quest, although this is a very cliche thing, people would say, this idea has been explored in movies like Three Idiots and so many other movies which talks about that you should really follow your passion and not what people tell. But it requires guts. It require courage to really do that. So that's where that feeling of being I should do something. I should write. I should do something, and that started really eating me. And I was never a writer. I was not trained. I am an engineer. I am an MBA, and so I wasn't a trained writer at all. I But the only thing what propelled me to write was I was always a good reader. I used to read a lot of books, and then I started putting my broken thoughts into papers. And when I started doing that, I started enjoying it, and that acted like a catharsis. I was releasing a lot of energy which was inside me. and hence the journey started, and I started writing and I started enjoying the process. And I you know one mistake led to one learnings, another mistake led to another learning, and I took 5 years to write my first book.
Wow, 5 years.
Yeah, and that's what I
Okay.
teach. That's what I teach in my book writing program. That because I've made all those mistakes, because I've walked all the path where anyone should not go, and this is what led to me, get into coaching aspiring authors. That what is the correct path that you should choose when you want to write your book. So yes, to answer to your question, I think I've given a long answer to a short question. But yes, the aspiration to really tell something, basically it was self exploration. I wanted to explore myself, and writing came as the help. I started writing, converted whatever I wrote into a book. The book got published, it became a hit, and here I am, talking to you, giving an interview.
Yeah, I also know that writing is a big deal. Actually, we have to understand the language and we have to be excel in language too to write a book.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
when I write, I also write some stories. I also try to write some stories.
Very good.
What do you
Very good.
suggest to the aspiring writers at first? What they where they do have to develop to write a book?
See, there are three things that I always teach people. That one, whenever you begin writing, begin with the end in the mind. Okay, that this is my end. This is where I need to go. So
Okay,
once you have end in your mind, then you calculate the number of steps that is required to reach that end.
okay,
Okay, now, and break down that those steps into small achievable targets. Achieve and keep on achieving those targets. Break down into that big journey into small goals. The way I do it in my marathon. Let's say you have to run 42 kilometers. You start. You don't look at 42 kilometers as one big thing. Oh my God, you have to run 42 kilometers. What should I do? You look at 1 kilometer first. You look at the first, the next pole, light pole, which is there. You look at the next water drinking station, which is there, and just keep focusing on the step ahead. So if you have to, let's say, while you're writing a book, it's like when you begin with the end in the mind, you should answer why you want to write this book and who's going to read this book, right? And once if you have go all these two three things clear, your end becomes clear, your end journey. Why do you want to write this book, and what do you want to achieve with the help of this book?
mm,
So if that is clear in your mind, your end starts getting into a bigger picture, and then you start walking towards your goal. Otherwise, what happens if clarity is not there? People start writing a book, and then they get lost in between, and then they say, oh my God, writing a book is such a tough task.
exactly.
Yeah.
I also stop in between while writing stories. I don't know. My mind will be blank.
Exactly, exactly. That's where. So that's what I teach people. I give them frameworks. I give them blueprints. I have specific steps that need to be followed, which I have developed myself. That have over a period of time that have helped me, write my books really fast. Because as I said, my first book I was able to write that book in 5 years. Second book I took 3 years. Third book I took 2 years, and last book I took 6 months.
Wow, that's the great development, improvement.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. And the one I'm writing right now, I'm planning to finish it in just 1 month, max 1.5 months. So my fifth book is also there in the horizon. So what I've done is, over the period of time, I've developed technique. I have developed as I said, blueprints, so that writing becomes an easy and a fun process.
So what it is fifth book about?
The fifth book is a self-help book. It talks about the fifth book is how do you write a book in 1 month.
How do you write a book in 1 month? I think I have to read your fifth book.
Yes, yes, yes. Because
Yes.
there were a lot of questions around me that, Tanmay, what are those blueprints? What are those formulas that, you write? And hence I thought, let me write a book on it. And, let me try and help people as much as I can.
Yeah, it really helpful to many people like me.
Yeah,
And thank
yeah.
you so much for writing books and inspiring the persons like me.
Thank you, Swami. Thank you
And
so much for. Yeah.
generally, what are the challenges you face when you're about to write a book? While you're writing a book?
See, the first challenge is to be able to overcome a limiting belief. Now, what is a limiting belief? Now, limiting belief is first, uh, why should you write a book, or who will read my book? Okay, I'm not a famous person. Who will read my book? Now, that's a limiting belief. Two, if I have to write a book, I have to have a great command in English. Now, that's limiting belief number two. Limiting belief number three is, even if I write a book, what will I get? How many people's will how many copies will I sell? What's the return on investment? Why should I invest so much of time writing a book and which only 10 people will buy, or maybe 50 people will buy? So what is happening here is your mind starts playing and starts dodging you before you even start take your pen, and it starts questioning you. And why are you doing this? This is nonsense. It will not lead you anywhere. This is what you've written is all crap. Your English is so bad, so pathetic, right? So these challenges are to overcome these limiting beliefs, to have that winning mindset. That I have to do this. I will do this. I am not a trained writer. Still, I wrote 4 books,
Yeah.
which became successful, and I'm teaching people to how to write a book. So the biggest challenges are these 3 4 challenges which I said. People get stuck and they start questioning themselves. How do you overcome these challenges? Is to have trust in yourself. Is to have trust in yourself, and there is nothing in this world which cannot be learned, which cannot be mastered at. Language is just one part. If you start working on your language, yes, you can definitely work on your language, because that's an external acquired skill. You have to work hard to acquire that skill. You learn swimming, right? You learn to play guitar. If you're really passionate about, you learn to play guitar or any musical instrument, you go and learn swim. Likewise, you can learn these skills. So people
Exactly.
think that, yeah, people get into this trap of, oh, I can't do this.
Exactly. I agree with all these things.
Yeah.
So actually, while writing a book, our mind should think properly without distracting. Like, so do you go to any particular places to write a book? Do you have any place like that to write a book?
Ideally, yes, I suggest you need to find one corner or a place in your own house. I mean, life does not give this opportunity to everyone to really go in a mountain and sit by a
Mm.
riverside, and or beside a beach, and then you ride. Because I was writing my first book when I was working, and I had written books when I was in flight, when I was in taxi, when I was waiting for somebody, etc., etc. But in general, if you can find a place in your house, where you sit, and if you can create a schedule that every day, let's say 6 to 7 in the morning, I will write, or maybe in the evening 7 to 8 I'll write. I'll switch off my phone. I will avoid all the distraction. So what happens is, it's like building a routine. It's like building a habit. While you build your habit, your mind starts creating those neurological pathways. So once you start doing it, one day, second day, third day, by the time fourth and fifth day comes, you yourself will be forced to find that corner, and when you look at that corner, you will start writing.
Yeah.
So find a place, create a routine, build up a habit. And habits are good or bad, it's up to you to build them. It's good that if you build a good habit. So if you
Yes.
build a good habit, yes, definitely, you can really master any art.
So we have to create ourselves the best place. right?
Yes. Find a place. I mean, it's true with meditation also, right?
Mhm.
It's been told that you do meditation or any kind of, let's say, puja, or any kind of prayers that you want to do. There's a specific place for it. So you try and build that energy around that place, and then just start rolling the ball.
So, how do you inspire yourself or motivate to write a books? Is there any person who inspired you to write a books or
I used to get
any area?
earlier. I used to get inspired earlier by big names like Dan Brown and famous names, V.S. Naipaul and other people. So I was quite inspired by them. But now I think I've reached a stage where I have to be better than myself. I have to be the better version of myself. What I was earlier, the kind of books that I wrote earlier, I have to be better than myself. So I think I try and beat myself every day.
Now you are in a position to inspire others like us. That's
I
great
really
to
don't know
hear.
about
Yes, yes.
inspiration, but yeah, I
Really,
try and myself.
really, I can inspire seeing your background, see how many medals and all those things are there. You become the role model for us, like you already achieved. So
Thank you, man.
actually, I divide a success journey into three parts: starting
Uh-huh.
stage, in process stage, and achievement stage. So where do
Mhm.
you feel that you are in present?
I think I would still consider myself as a starter. Uh,
Starting.
there is, yeah. There are so many things that I plan to do. I plan to, make movies on my book. I really, I plan to create a huge author coaching academy where I will be, my dream and my mission is to coach 1 lakh uh, authors in the country that can be of any language. So I think the plans are big, and I'm ready to take on the world.
Wow, your vision is so great. And Diary
Thanks,
Souls wish that you achieve your all your targets and inspire more people like me and all those things.
thanks, man. Thank you so much.
So, anything to say about your journey and to others?
So, what I would say, there are one thing that I always, and that's what I have also written in my book, The Amigos, that you should be able to overcome fear.
Mm,
If you want to do anything, you should overcome fear, because when a human being is born, the child does not know what fear is. He or she will go and just touch, electricity, or he will touch some place which is burning fire or something. So fear is an acquired quality or a bad quality inside you, which society puts, or your, I don't want to say your parents do it, but somewhere or the other, because your upbringing brings in that sense of fear in you. What if it doesn't happen? What if it doesn't happen? So the biggest thing that I want in today's world, or maybe for the youngsters, is that you should overcome your fear. Fear is something which you're not born with. It has been acquired by yourself. It's a social conditioning which has happened in your mind. So once you overcome your fear, once you know how to beat that fear, you can achieve anything.
mm,
Anything is possible. You can achieve anything. A fat person
mm,
can, like me, 100 kg person like me can become an Iron Man, can run, can achieve anything. So, which if somebody would have asked me 10 years ago, and he would have told me that, I would be giving interviews on health and fitness, I would not have believed him at all. I would have said, no, that's impossible. I can't do this. So, beat fear,
mm.
and follow your heart, follow your passion, and enjoy the journey. Results, we tend to look at life by the result that it gives you, you know so don't look at the results. Results will happen. Enjoy the journey, have fun, and just overcome fear and do whatever you want. Whatever you want, you will achieve. Nothing is impossible.
So thank you. And one more final question for you. Actually, writing book is sharing your thoughts or inspiring someone through your book. So how do you
Mhm.
think that sharing is helpful to someone?
See, when you are sharing something to somebody, now that can be thought, that can be even piece of food, or that can be, any kind of thing. You're helping people. The moment you help, there is and I'm going a little scientific here. There is a certain chemical in your brain which gets released. Okay,
Mm.
and that gives you a sense of aliveness. When you hit someone, when you are in anger, when you take something from somebody, a certain part in you dies, you know. And when you give something somebody, when you are able to transform somebody, when you are sharing, there's certain chemical which releases in your brain, and that gives you a feeling of fulfillment, a feeling of being alive, a sense of purpose. And I think every human being, other than money is, yes, one part of it, but everybody strives for that sense, self sense of fulfillment. That why am I born? So I think being able to write connects with you with that sense of fulfillment, with that sense of you know uh, of being alive and having done something. That sense of achievement.
That's great, sir. That's great.
Thanks,
And
man.
before ending our talk, I would like to see your achievements, like in your background, so many medals. I can see medals and many photos. So can
Uh,
you show them to us?
mhm. So this is you know this run was in Amsterdam. This was in Amsterdam,
Okay.
half
Okay.
marathon. This one is in Geneva. This is Airtel Delhi Marathon. This is Hyderabad Marathon, and this one is cycling in Ladakh. And this is a couple of this one is in Sydney. This one is in again in Delhi. So these are the photographs. This is the Iron Man. This is the Iron Man medal that I got in Sydney.
Okay.
This was 5th of May, and yeah. So this is another marathon. So I think quite a number of them. This is Airtel Delhi
Okay.
Marathon. Yeah, this is
Great.
Mumbai
Great.
Marathon, full Mumbai Marathon. So a lot of them actually.
Where you are so inspiring and motivating. Actually, you said that you are in starting, but in starting itself, you have got that many medals and many photographs, like achievement photographs. And I don't know, I can't imagine that in starting itself, you have got that many. And in process and in achievement stage, I don't know, that room will be maybe filled up with many achievements, right?
Hopefully,
And I wish
hopefully
for
so,
that.
man. Thank
Yes.
you. Yeah, yeah. I also wish so.
So besides your medals and all that, can you show your books?
Yeah, yeah, sure. Why not? So this is my first book that's called Just Six Evenings.
Just evenings.
Yeah, Just Six Evenings, and this is the latest one, The Red Line.
Red line.
It's a murder mystery. Yeah, it's a murder mystery, and this is the self-help book, DNA of a Champion Salesperson.
Mm,
Yeah,
great.
that's a self-help book. Yeah, so these are a couple of my books.
Okay. Great. And thank you so much. I had a great talk with you, and you have shared your journey. It's very inspiring and motivating in personal to me also.
Thank
And
you.
thank you.
Thanks, Swami.